Ahead on Q2, blood relatives.
The only ones who have to be papered are dogs, horses, and humans.
With the crow population declining, new requirements are being put in place to keep the lineage alive. Plus, disturbing new details coming to light in the shooting in Stillwater County that left 2 people dead and 2 others critically injured. We'll have the latest. And a massive fire starts at a longtime Montana landmark. We'll show you. The MTN 430 News starts right now. Good evening and thanks for joining us on this Wednesday. I'm Andrea Lutz. Crow membership is at a crossroads. For the first time, the tribe's population is shrinking. More Crow people died this year than enrolled. So the executive branch is proposing a big change, recognizing all enrolled members as 100% Crow, regardless of their blood percentage, even if they can only document 25%. Our Mac Carmack breaks down what this could mean for the future of Crow Nation.
As a Crow woman, Amber Burdenground holds her family traditions close to home.
I come from Chief Medicine Crow lineage. That's where I come from on my mother's side.
She was born and raised here in Crow Agency and now teaches community health at Little Bighorn College. She considers herself 100% Crow, even though her blood quantum would say otherwise.
I was raised in a traditional home. My first language is Crow. It really does depend on how you are raised and who raises you.
As a law from 1884 says that Amber only has 88% Crow in her blood.
Just saying that you're a full blood is pretty nice to say.
You wouldn't go to say someone of Italian descent and say, how much Italian are you? And they can spit out a number, right? But for whatever reason, tribal members have to deal with that.
Levi Black Eagle, the secretary for the tribe, tells me blood quantum has been a topic of conversation and controversy for hundreds of years.
Blood quantum was something that was forced upon Indian tribes to adapt or to adhere to in order to keep tabs on us, so to speak. The only ones who have to be papered are dogs, horses, and Indians.
He says this gatekeeping system to be considered a Crow member is a flawed system. That's why the Crow executive branch is working away from it.
If you're enrolled today and you're alive, your blood quantum is going to go to 404. That is the proposed legislation.
If legislation passes, all enrolled members of the Crow tribe will be considered 100% Crow blood, an effort to expand Crow membership as numbers dwindle. But enrolling more people as Crow could mean less money and services. Tribal benefits like care at the Indian Health Service, the right to vote, and per capita will be spread across more people.
So I think the population is going to really grow and expand. Even if it does, then our revenue and our per cap is going to decrease.
Tribal elder Audrey Plentyhoops is concerned about those resources thinning, with per capita a regular payment to all tribal members divided equally. But Amber sees it differently. More Crow people means more of those important traditions continuing for years down the road.
That is who we are, and there's no other place like this.
The executive branch has already submitted the proposal. In January, the legislative branch will review the document in committee. In Crow Agency, Matt Carmack, MTN News.
Tonight, new details surrounding a brutal ambush in Stillwater County where a mother and daughter were shot and killed and 2 others injured, and what led up to the violence. Prosecutors say 23-year-old Ty Allen Turney, a rejected ex-boyfriend, drove from Texas to Montana in an attempt to reconcile with his girlfriend, Nyla Dawson. But instead, he raped the woman and ambushed her and her mother, Justine, outside their Stillwater County home. That is according to police. Now, court documents say he shot both women in the garage, then chased down and shot Nyla's father, and also shot a family friend in the arm. Turney fled, crashing a pickup into the Stillwater River before being arrested. He faces 2 counts of deliberate homicide and 2 counts of attempted homicide. Well, Turney has ties to Runnels County, Texas. The Runnels County Register reports Turney is the son of a former Ballinger City administrator and a former Winters police officer. Turney's father, Tommy Lynn Turney, was the Ballinger, Texas city manager for almost 3 years. He passed away from a heart attack in 2021. Turney's mother is a former Winters, Texas police officer. A Richland County deputy is recovering after a shooting this morning. Both he and a woman were hurt, and state investigators are now on the case. Sheriff Don Dennison says his office responded to a disturbance in northeast Richland County where shots were fired. A deputy struck a woman who was taken to Sydney Health. The deputy was also injured, treated, and released. He is now on leave. And the Montana Division of Criminal Investigations is handling the case. No details have been released, though, about what sparked that shooting. The wind has finally calmed down in Billings, but Red Lodge is still feeling the bite. Red Lodge Mountain closed at noon as high winds made it too dangerous for skiers and boarders. Officials hope to reopen tomorrow. There were some dangerous conditions elsewhere, like US 87 near Bull Mountain Divide, south of Roundup. That's where you can see whiteout conditions and icy roads made travel there pretty treacherous. And the winter weather isn't done yet. Our meteorologist Jason Stiff has the latest.
Yeah, a lot of clouds today. Not quite as windy for many of us, although it has been a really windy day around Livingston as well as Big Timber. Yet again, that wind is going to get stronger, but we have some light rain showers near Miles City, some light snow showers around parts of Glendive, but nothing too heavy for us right now. More rain showers between Havre and Great Falls, but there's a lot of cold air over Alberta and Saskatchewan, and it is moving southward eventually toward Montana and Wyoming. So as early as tomorrow morning, we'll already have some areas of snow in northeastern Montana, some areas of rain and freezing rain, but that entire cold air mass is moving southward. It's really going to affect us by tomorrow night. I have a complete 7-day forecast with all the details in a few minutes.
A Wolfpoint landmark is up in flames this afternoon. Take a look at this photo from the Northern Plains Independent as the town's grain elevator started on fire. Details are pretty limited, but the Independent reports that the Wolfpoint Volunteer Fire Department is fighting that fire. As of now, it's unknown if there are any injuries. President Donald Trump is hitting the road to talk about a key issue, affordability. The president traveled to battleground state Pennsylvania to tout job growth and falling prices, but many Americans say prices are still too high. Erica Brown reports from Washington.
At a campaign-style rally in battleground Pennsylvania Tuesday night, President Trump took on the issue of affordability amid Americans' concerns about rising costs.
And I have no higher priority than making America affordable again. That's what we're going to do.
The president blamed Democrats for higher prices and defended his administration's handling of the economy.
They gave you high prices. They gave you the highest inflation in history, and we're bringing those prices down rapidly. Lower prices, bigger paychecks.
The government data shows the inflation rate was falling at the beginning of the year, but began slowly rising again this spring, around the time President Trump imposed widespread tariffs. The cost of a gallon of gas is down compared to the same time last year, but utility bills are up, and many shoppers say they're still feeling the pinch at the grocery store and beyond.
Prices are just too high. Everything is too high. The cost of medical care, trying to buy, clothes for your kids or grandkids.
While President Trump calls the issue of affordability a Democratic hoax, on Capitol Hill, the two parties are trading blame and positioning the issue to be front and center in next year's midterm elections.
They know that the affordability crisis is at their doorstep. They know it is more difficult to live under the Trump economy.
They broke the economy, and now they want to lecture to the American people about affordability.
Next week, Vice President J.D. Vance is expected to speak in Pennsylvania to assure voters that the administration is working to bring costs down. Erica Brown, CBS News, Washington.
Nearly 7.7 million jobs were open in the U.S. this October. That's according to some new data this evening. That's a slight increase from the prior 2 months. The survey also showed hiring activity dropped, with layoffs going up and fewer people quitting their jobs. The Federal Reserve cut its benchmark interest rate for the third time this year, citing a cooling job market. Evan Moon has more on the decision and what it means for borrowers.
Wall Street rang in the trading day with optimism, expecting the third consecutive interest rate cut from the Federal Reserve. And the Fed delivered, knocking rates down another 1/4 percentage point.
We have lowered our policy rate 3/4 percentage point over our last 3 meetings. This further normalization of our policy stance should help stabilize the labor market.
The benchmark range now sits at 3.5 to 3.75%, its lowest level in more than 3 years.
The Fed basically believes that the job market is slowing down enough that we need a little boost in the economy. We've been in a low hire, low fire environment.
Analysts say it's rare for the labor market to cool while inflation remains high.
Maybe it's due to the uncertainty of the tariffs. Maybe it is due to just generalized anxiety about which jobs are going to be remaining after AI takes hold. We don't know.
With a lack of new economic data due to the recent government shutdown, not all voting members were in agreement. 2 wanted to maintain the previous range. 1 wanted a bigger rate cut. Bank rate analyst Stephen Cates said consumers will see a minimal impact from this cut.
Any single meeting, any single cut is not going to be life-changing for anybody. Nobody's going to wake up tomorrow and feel very different about their life or suddenly have access to credit that they didn't have today.
Cates notes interest on credit card balances and auto loans is still steep.
Fed officials signaled they expect to lower rates just once in 2026. Analysts are predicting a pause on cuts with split views on inflation and Chair Jerome Powell's term ending in May. Evan Moon, CBS News, New York.
Santa Claus may be joining the unemployment line. This time of year, a jolly old Saint Nick is the star attraction of parties and events across the country. But those Santa gigs are drying up. The Hire Santa agency measures demand by the number of booking inquiries. Its founder says they've seen a sharp drop in this year's hiring.
We have seen consumer demand for Santa Claus down about 27% over previous years. It still is remaining strong for businesses. Businesses are still wanting Santa to help drive traffic as well as to associate themselves with Christmas. But in terms of consumers, we're seeing a little bit of a weaker demand.
Head elf Mitch Allen says the Santa business is still strong, but the parties his agency saw around COVID started to dwindle. This year's celebrations are scaled down, leaving Santa in the cold.